this video, we're going to have a look at the Reflect tool within Microsoft Teams. So I'm in my 4th grade team here, and you can see in the menu on the left hand side I have our Reflect section. So if I click on Reflect, it opens up the Reflect dashboard. So in the Reflect dashboard you can see the questions that you've asked previously, when you asked them, where you posted that question. So Teams is an option and Class Notebook is an option. And you can see an overview of how the students in your class responded. So just by hovering over the check-in results column, I can see pretty instantly how students have felt about that question. So this one about the test, actually not looking so great. 17 students there which are a bit apprehensive, I would say, about that assessment. Let's create a Reflect question. So in the top right hand corner you'll see we've got a create check-in button. If we click on that, it then prompts you to select a question. So the first 3 questions are generic default questions, but the 4th question allows you to customize. So I might pop in here, how are you feeling? Underneath I can decide whether the students see the responses but not anybody's names, or whether they don't see the responses at all. So you can toggle that option on and off. Educators always see names and responses, so if there is a student in your class who's feeling particularly low, then you'll be able to identify who that is from their response. Up the top here I've got demo student view, so I'm just going to click on this so you can get an idea of what the students see. So when the students enter the Reflect section in their team, they'll see all their previous check-ins from the sort of last few weeks, which is cool. I'll come out of student view now, and I'm going to post this check-in. So how are you feeling about mathematics? Students can see responses but not names, and then down the bottom I'm going to click next. Now I choose how long I leave my check-in open for. So I can toggle this down, so actually 2 hours will be fine. And then I decide which channel I'm going to post this to. So because my question's about mathematics, I'm going to post it to the numeracy channel. Down the bottom right hand corner again I've got post check-in, so hit that button and my check-in will be posted. You can see that it's now at the top of my dashboard, and students will be able to answer that question at any point within the next 2 hours. From an educator's point of view, looking at the trends within Reflect is really powerful. So if I click on the check-in trends, you'll see an example of what this will look like for teachers. So gives us an idea of how many check-ins have been, what's the participation been like, what are the top responses. You can change the time frame that you're looking at. You can change what types of questions that you want to focus on, or you can look at an individual student. So I'm going to click on Maria here, and you'll see that actually Maria's done 17 check-ins. She's responded 100% of the time, and creative and annoyed is how she's been responding in most of these. So if I hover over again the bars here, you will see that I find out exactly how she responded within that. So Reflect is a really cool tool which gives you that opportunity to check in emotionally in a really quick and private way for the students. Another really cool feature of Reflect is the ability that you have to drill down into the responses for a particular question. So I'm going to click on this how are you feeling today check-in from a couple of days ago, and you can see it kind of brings up an overview of how the students are feeling. Some feeling inspired, proud. At the bottom end here, feeling a bit jealous, stressed. And if I click on those 2, you'll realize that I've actually got 2 students that are feeling pretty low, depressed and hopeless. As a teacher, I'd be looking at their previous check-ins and seeing that actually that's out of the ordinary, and that would necessitate a conversation, I think, between me and those students to find out what's been going on that's making them feel depressed or making them feel hopeless. And that's information that I wouldn't have had without using the reflect tool. The other really nice feature in here is the together view. So if I click on together view, you'll see that it gives an overview of how the whole class are doing. Up the top, we've got the option to hide or show student names. I would advise you to hide the student names, because when you hover over the monsters, it then tells you what they're coming off. If I put that back on, you'll see that their names appear. And if you imagine you've started your day, you've had an emotional check-in, you can pop this up on the board and just say, look, we've got a huge chunk of people that are feeling in a pretty good space. We're feeling fulfilled, we're feeling energized, somebody's feeling tired, but you can actually highlight the sad monsters and say, oh, do you know what, we've got someone in our group that's feeling hopeless today, someone's feeling pretty depressed, so can we keep an eye out for our fellow students today? And it helps to build that whole sense of community within your classroom.